How do from Castlebury Park? Well, we're trading this weekend, as you can tell with the flags out, and we've got Wobbly Boater behind us, ice cream selling. Welcome to this week's video. Tash is somewhere about, she'll appear during the video. This week's from Cosgrove to Manor Park, Great Linford, I think it is. Give it a watch, turn around and see what you think. Working our way down the Grand Union still, slowly catching up to where we are. Push the button, ring the bell. It's free to you, me, the world, and everybody here at Watford. See you at the other side. So we've come up from the bridge and the pub. We made a brew and I've come to the lock. We get off the section that's given high water levels, but as the boat takes a slowly approach to going down, that's the Buckingham Canal. Apparently it's under restoration, and it says so on the actual sign at 1 mile. There is a couple of workboats, one with a high-ab and the sign of the Buckingham Canal Society, and in the arm there's lots of boats. And then as we get to this end, Cosgrove Store and Kitchen is advertising, but right on the end of the lock there's an old pile of moorings and a turning circle, and obviously that looks fairly new. So I don't know whether it is new or whether it's just a case of it's been some time but it's still been kept looking nice. I know I'm waffling, but I'm learning where I'm going. Big boat society here, big community. I've been talking to one of the ladies who turned around and advised me the fact that there was. So I've pushed our cleaning products. We're getting there. That's Cosgrove. So I've just been informed this is the last lock until I get to Fenny Stratford. That's good, that. So we're aiming for Milton Keynes so that Tash can turn around and catch up with me. If I'm lucky and I can do it today before the rain comes, which is looking a little bit ominous, I think I might have about 5 mile. Gentleman just told me it's about 12 hours to get down to Fenny Stratford. Took him 4 months to get from that lock to this lock. I'm just hoping this rain stays off until, but the wind's definitely got up, which doesn't help. Right, time to go. Yes, definitely time to go. Close the bounds, open the gate, let's get going. I think this might be the Iron Trunk Bridge. I quite like that. We'll have to come and stop it here and have a look at it. Iron Trunk Aqueduct. Definitely. It's a bit like the Ponticiphi, if I've got that right. Oh, that wind's strong. Catches you. Chief. Definitely swollen, that, isn't it? As we come down this straight from the lock at Cosgrove, we come to the medieval village of Wolverton. This is going to show how much it's rained. The ground's damp and soggy, and the boat lost its pin on the back. It's all loose. Let's slow it right down so there's no real pressure being pulled, but there has been a boat that's just come up, so whether that's pulled it out I don't know, or whether it's been like that for a day or so. I couldn't go past and do nothing about it. It was on pins, the little hook ones that go behind the girder, and if people don't turn around and have them tight, then they're not going to turn around and stay connected in, especially if other people go past at silly speeds and the water levels are changing as they go. But as a good boater, it's look after somebody else as well as looking after yourself, because I'd always want somebody else to do the same for me. 1, 2, third boat up, and we've got another one sinking. It is a little bit sorry state, but it's actually sunk. It's got water in the front. So we're getting into the old urbanised buildings that are in a state of disrepair. Very similar to Birmingham, although different styles of buildings. But yeah, actually these are worse than Birmingham. We must be on the outskirts of Milton Keynes now. Become very industrialised. Units on the other side are currently in use compared to these. So under Bridge 70 and 70A. 70A is the railway bridge. And guess what? It's definitely changed, hasn't it? Definitely back into the city now. So make the most of this. Solid towpaths. Be able to go for a run. Because buildings on the other side of the railway station bridge have been rebuilt and repurposed. New attachments to them, made them into apartments. I think we're quite good. It's looking good so far anyway. So, another aqueduct, and this one's called Grafton Street, and we're high above the main road into Milton Keynes. Show you it in a minute. We've got about 2 miles to go and the light's going, but we're winning. Hopefully we'll be able to turn around and get moored up before 2 miles, not that far. Some new build, looks very, very good. And a private boat point. Cool. Some work gone into that, hasn't there? Didn't know dragonflies got that big. You won't be able to see that, but that's a cat stalking 2 ducks. But unfortunately, as we all know, cats don't like water. So when it pounces in a minute, it's going to get a shock, isn't it? Morning. Well, it's Thursday morning. Arrived here and got all the travelling done yesterday, but now I've got a couple of days before Tash gets home late tomorrow night. I can crack on with doing some jobs. Some of it's tidying the boat, some of it's doing all the old household chores, but more importantly, yeah, we're trying to see whether we can do something with that. Yeah, see whether it's the bulb, see whether there's a connection, we'll see whether there's a fuse, but let's start with the bulb and see how we get on. Kettle's on, so it should only be a quick job just to have a look at. I'm going to have to go and find a bulb because we haven't got, but we're there. How do we? Alright. Well, we're on in between Bridge 75 and Bridge 76. Not far from the River Ouse and not in Hull. We're still on the Grand Union. Yes, I am just off the bend, although it doesn't look as though I am. And we've just had a boat go past, so I know I'm safe. Pulled up late last night, and basically, yeah, it's a very nice place. We're almost on the border between Newport Pagnell and Milton Keynes. So we have the bend overflow there, but we also have, and I'll do it just see whether I can get through this gate, a little walk through Stanton Low Park, which is what, there's a lot of parks around here, yeah, but just down there is the ruins of St Peter's Church. Be rude not to go and look at it. Bit of a trek over the last couple of days, so we're having I'm having a couple of days here while Tash finishes work and comes back up and joins us. But I'm going to take a little walk down the towpath the other way, down by, I think it's the Black Dragon pub, but I'll check on that, or is it the Black Horse? I'm not sure. Whatever the pub is, and see what there is in the way of parking. But I'm going to the church first. Come and join me. We'll go and see what it's like. Might not have any boards or anything, but it's just something different, not far off the towpath. In a minute. So we've walked down from the tree line just at the top there, and it's been very clearly marked. The ground's solid, but just from walking there to here, I've actually got wet. It started to rain, so this is going to be a very quick visit, but we'll see what we can do for you. So the Church of St Peter, Stantonbury's medieval ruin. It's right peaceful here. I love it. Really is. Well worth going and having a look. We'll go and see whether we can walk into. So just a quick one. There's not much to see really, but it's worth going in and having a quick look. There's gravestones there in the floor, and this would have been the door. And then just a very small chapel. Something different for you to just write home about. There you go, your visit to St Peter's. Stop raining now. Go on.
I like getting parcels, especially this one. If I can get into it. This is exciting. This is weak. We're going to hang it on the side of the boat and get them washing outside. Exciting.
I can't take her bloody anywhere. Sitting and riding on sheep, taking phone calls, I don't know. So we're at Great Linford Manor Park. The boat's just behind that tree, and there's a free car park up there, and I'm taking a little womble and doing this video while she's on the telephone. So there's the boat. It is a beautiful park, and we're going to take a womble, see how we get on, see what we see.
Doing my bit to help Paul out with some videos. We've come for a walk around the Great Linford Manor House Park and found out some interesting facts, haven't we?
Yes, just slightly.
Let me turn the camera around so I can show you. Who knows what this is? It is a fundamental benchmark. There's a network of 200 of them across the country, and they're a precise network that used to be measured using the sun and the moon to measure the level above sea level, which the point is taken from Newlyn in Cornwall. You can see here on this information board the actual diagram of what's below the concrete pillar. So the sea level was calculated using readings taken every hour over 6 years from 1915 to 1921. Obviously that's now been taken over and is now done computerised, but this particular benchmark is 71.61 metres above sea level. If you're on the Grand Union Canal and you want somewhere to come for a nice walk, we are currently moored at Bridge 76, and this is the Great Linford Manor House. It was originally a house on the site dating back to the 1300s.
On that side there,
Yeah.
the manor house.
It was over this side.
Only going from the board that turns around and said that, like,
He took in more than what I did, didn't you?
excavations were done.
Yes, there's been archaeology excavations that have discovered the footings. But then that house in front of us there was rebuilt in the 1600s by a wealthy person called William Pritchard, and all the grounds were developed. And we'll go down and look at the other side of this building here, which was built as
A single cell
house for peasants. But we'll go and look at it from the other side because you can see more of it from the other side. But it's a lovely, it's not huge, but it's a really nice area to walk around. It's got lots of information boards about the history.
And on the other side of the canal, the gardens.
And there's another pond, isn't there? There's a couple of ponds, and then there's another pond on the other side of the canal as well. So it's just a nice bit of time out if you want some.
All managed by the Parks Trust.
Yes, there's a big parks estate trust that manages lots of parks in Milton Keynes. It's a very pleasant place to come. There's a heart for us in the tree.
Love you, missus.
So there's the ponds. I'm sure in a few more weeks' time, we've had a bit more decent weather, it will be stunning, because I'm sure there'll be lilies on there and all the plants will jump back into colour. You see the boats moored on the canal just up over there. There you go, you can see the front of the almshouses now. So they were built in 1696. The centre block was for the warden, and the lady of the estate commissioned some purpose-built wooden beds to make them more comfortable for the people that lived in them. And they were in use until the 1960s. And there was a charity school set up in them in 1702, and they were in use until the 1960s. You come off the canal the opposite side to Great Linford Estate, and you've got Great Linford Old Railway Line, which is now a footpath, and this is the old station. This is really stunning around here. It's beautiful. Like I say, in a few weeks' time it will be even more beautiful because the colours will be out more. This is the Cascade Pond, which is on the opposite side of the canal to the gardens. And in the 1760s it formed a string of ponds which were fed by the Hine Spring, and they were all connected by bridges and weirs. You can just imagine the gentry walking around here in their smart suits, tweed suits, and the ladies in their beautiful great big dresses with parasols in the sunshine.
Well, leaving Great Linford, and like, she's got back in what she got, tiller in hand. It's like aiming for Fenny Stratford. I'll say aiming for. You might understand why in a minute, but it's a slow process. Convoy, because there's a wide beam coming down behind us too. Big convoy. So the houses round here are right nice.
Yeah.
That's like
Lots and lots of boats along here, isn't there? I ran the other way yesterday and there was a mile's worth of boats.
oh yeah, it's a very popular spot. If you ever come down this way, down the Grand Union, I'm sure we'll be stopping here on the way back in, up if we can get in.
Yeah, it's nice here.
It's so quiet and peaceful. It's just unreal. Nice little visit round the park, isn't it? Oh, what do you mean it's a bit close? All I wanted to do was see whether you got bogies. Do you remember that? Bogies.
That was the young ones, wasn't it? I didn't like the young ones.
You see. Go on.
There's a swan's nest. First one I've seen this year.
It's the first time you've been boating this year, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's cheeky, what's
Well, I've got to try and lay claim to something. I think they're the plastic hoarders. What do you reckon? Beautiful.
Not as nice as the nest in Brink though, it's made of daffodils though.
Well, that's true. See all sorts of styles of boats on the canal. So there you go, yet another video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Something I've learned, something I've worked on. We're slowly getting better. We're possibly going to be talking about this weekend's trading in next week's video. If not, it'll be a little bit more of the video coming down from Great Linford and Manor Park. So push the button, ring the bell. It's free to you, me, the world and everybody else that's not around at present because they've had a good day's trading, and we'll see you next week. Take care for now. Share us, care us and give us what your thoughts are.